welcome to a new video. I thought I need to start also this year my monthly favorites. I personally love making these videos because I think they are a great representation of what I actually use and not just, first impressions or a product review. So you can check the ones I did last year. There's a playlist and I will link it. Now, January was a little bit different. We've been under a third lockdown. I have one kid at home all the time, and then the other one was home in the beginning of the month. So I really didn't have a lot of time to paint, and I've been working on other things. However, I did receive my stamp set that I designed, and depending when you're watching this video, is hopefully available for pre-order. I will leave all the detail below. I'm doing a pre-order, so if you're interested, please take advantage of it because there will be limited quantities. I don't want to order more than I know will be bought. And so I thought it would be a great idea to use the stamp set and the colors that I mostly used this month when I did paint and not crochet. There may have been some crocheting done. So you can also see how I would use some of the stamps in it, or most of the stamps I think I managed to use here in my routine, let's say my watercolor routine. So the whole point of the stamp set, it's called the Watercolor Workbook stamp set. The whole point is to have a really cute and fast way of keeping your paints in order, having all the details. That's what the swatch card stamp is made for, which I'm actually not using here because that one, I wouldn't necessarily use it in a sketchbook. Although you can create even a dedicated sketchbook where you can stamp the swatch card stamp. But I show exactly how I would use the stamp set in the designated video. And the other stamps are definitely aimed for kind of keeping a sketchbook or a logbook, so you can easily reference color combination, color palettes, color stories, and that you don't have to kind of figure things out every time you start to paint. So I enjoy documenting my color adventures, and I find it really, really helpful and a time saver, because I can just open my logbook or my sketchbook and look at color stories, color palettes that I came up with in the past, and I don't have to recreate them every time. I'll just go over the colors I stamped here. I used some of the word stamps just because they're like really fun and playful to add to your pages. And then at the top, I used the half pan and full pan stamps. Those are probably my favorites because, as you can see, you can create different configurations of your palette or a color palette for a painting. So at the top, we have the full pans are kind of the main star colors for me lately, and we have Naples Yellow Red, a color by Lucas that I'm running dangerously low on, and I need to order a new tube. Luckily, Lucas is a very affordable brand. It's German, so in Europe it's very affordable, and they do 20 milliliter tubes. So really great option. If you're in Europe and you're looking for a great cobalt teal option, which tends to be, sometimes it's an expensive color, Lucas has a beautiful version that is quite affordable. I had a full pan that I kind of finished, and then I bought the tube. It's a really good deal. So next to Lucas Naples Yellow Red, we have my beloved Bright Rose. You can see this is a fluorescent color. It is fugitive. It doesn't translate well to print, but for sketchbook and original art, I personally love the color of it, and I don't mind using fugitive colors, although I would love to find a light fast version of this particular color. Okay, second row, from left to right, we have Core Quinacridone Gold. Daniel Smith Moon Glow, Daniel Smith Cascade Green, and Daniel Smith Olive Green. And then the third and bottom row from left to right, we have Daniel Smith Teal Blue Light, I think they call it. It's PG50. Rembrandt's French Ultramarine, Van Gogh Dusk Yellow, and Van Gogh Carmine. Those two last ones by Van Gogh are just beautiful, and I started with a half pan, and I will be purchasing tubes to replenish my stash. So next I'm using my mixing stamp, and you can see it's a rectangular stamp that has 6 spaces where you can explore the mixtures of 2 colors. And this is a great stamp because it allows you to see that gradient of mixes. It's a really good exercise, and it kind of gives you, you know, a limited space. Now, if your colors are similar, for example, I don't know, if you're mixing a yellow and a red, you might find it a bit difficult to create 4 different mixes that are different from each other. But if you're using complementary colors, like I have quinacridone gold mixed with moon glow on the top there, it's not so hard because the colors are so different. So it's really nice. And those are my favorite colors to mix. I mean, you know, obviously it's important to know what kind of orange you'll get if you mix yellow and red, but it's usually not a surprise. And with complementary colors, and especially if you're using granulating, separating colors, there's always fun surprises. So I'll just tell you what I mixed. On the top row left, we have Lucas Naples Yellow Red mixed with Holbein's Bright Rose. I personally love the gradient here. I love the coral colors that I get, and this is a go-to combo for me in my loose florals. The next to it, we have quinacridone Gold by Core mixed with Daniel Smith Moon Glow, and you can see the beautiful neutrals you get from this combination. However, I'm going to try another mixture soon, which gives me even better mixes, or ones that I prefer. And this is a really great way of seeing how you can work with a limited palette. Now, I don't mind. I have nothing against using a lot of colors. I sometimes use a lot of colors in my work, but I find it so much more interesting to create, especially neutrals and semi-neutrals and semi-muted colors from the colors that I already use in my color palette, instead of introducing like a gray from a tube. I just think the mixtures are more interesting. So that's why I prefer to see what kind of colors I can get with a limited color palette. It's not anything really, you know, it's not a principle, and I would gladly add more colors if I need to, but if I can mix a great neutral from a yellow and a purple that I already include, I would do that. So next we're using the little color wheel, and the little color wheel is made to just give you an easy kind of quick glimpse at a possible color story for your painting. I prefer to use it for triads. So you can see if you stamp 2 times the half small color wheel, you will get kind of 6 large areas and then 6 smaller areas. And I like to just use 3 colors and then the mix in the middle to give me an idea of what I can create with these colors. Now, I also talk about this in other videos. The mix in between my triads, they don't have to be 50-50. I take this opportunity to kind of find a ratio that creates a color that I personally love. And that to me is a more relevant representation of what I can create with these colors than just doing a 50-50 mix. Because if I'm not too crazy about that color, then it's kind of missing the point. So this is what I'm doing here, and you can see that I have on the right small color wheel, I have quinacridone Gold, Moon Glow, and Holbein's Bright Rose, and I created more of a coral color That's the color I like instead of a more orangey color that I could make with quinacridone gold and Holbein's bright rose. And then I created a real beautiful kind of a green gold, olive green color from mixing quinacridone gold and moon glow. And then I guess the moon glow and bright rose mixture is somewhere in the middle. So this is just a great opportunity to kind of fine tune your color preferences and don't feel like you have to do like a 50-50 mixture, because that's kind of missing the point. You want to find the colors that you love. Okay, so now I had room for another mixing stamp, and I decided to see what happens when I mix, instead of quinacridone gold with moon glow, Naples yellow red with moon glow. And I actually really love the neutrals that I came up with. There's something about Lucas's Naples yellow red. It has a bit of opacity, but not too much. And I really love the kind of mixtures that I get when I mix it with my bright pinks. It tones down a little bit the bright pink and also gives me a little bit of opacity. And just the corals I find them more attractive than if I mix like a bright yellow and a bright pink. So that's just my personal preference. And I get the same effect when I mix it with moon glow. It's really beautiful neutrals that are just slightly muddy, but in a good way. But moon glow, I think with any yellow, creates really lovely neutrals. It's a combination I like to use with all of the yellows in my stash. Okay, so now on the other side, I flipped the sketchbook just so you have a good view. And I am now stamping the large color wheel. So you have a stamp that is a quarter of a large color wheel, and you can stamp it 4 times to create this large circle. And this large circle is the place to kind of dive deeper. And once you decided on your colors, you can really stretch those mixes and see what your colors can do. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with kind of a more colorful color wheel, using more of the colors that I've been loving this month, which is what this page is about. It's about colors that I mostly used this month. And then in the other color wheel, you'll see that I kind of narrowed down my color story, because I found that I like to paint most of my painting with a limited color palette. Now, this is true for right now, and it can change next month. But for example, I would paint most of my painting with, let's say, 4 colors. Lucas Naples yellow red, a bright pink like bright rose, or carmine, which you can see it's a little bit warmer. The bright rose is a very, very blue pink. Moon glow, and then something like cascade green or dusk yellow. Those colors I would use like 4 colors to paint most of my paintings. And then at the end, I might bring in some pops of color with teal, with ultramarine blue, maybe olive green, and quinacridone gold. So that's just what's working for me. So right now, the big color wheel that I'm painting has all of these colors kind of claiming their place, but as a color story in a painting, I just prefer to use them differently. And this is a great place to play with these things. And again, I say it in all of my videos, there is no right or wrong answer here. There is only what you prefer and what you enjoy. And what works for one artist will not work for another. What one swears by, someone else will hate. That is the nature of art, and if we were all the same, it would be incredibly boring. So I'm just sharing with you my process and hopefully giving you kind of the confidence and, freedom to go with what works for you and not feel like you have to listen to what other people say is, the right way to do something or the way that they do something. So it's right for them, but it might not be right for you. So this is also the place, I feel like the large color wheel is where you can really explore all of what your color story can do. Start mixing more than just two colors. Start neutralizing colors. So, you know, mix a pink and a green, a pink and a yellow, and then neutralize them with a green or something. So just explore different ratios of the colors you chose and see what sticks. So right now, like, this color wheel is not really doing it for me, but I'm going to fine tune it in the next one. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please check all of the information, the color names, the brushes I use, the palette. All of those things will be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to place your order if you want the stamp set. As I said, I'm doing the pre-order, and beyond that, I don't know if I'll have any more sets available or when I will do a restock. I don't know. If you want it, take advantage of the pre-order. And I will also be posting other videos to show you how you can use it. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video with my monthly favorites. I hope to do them every month because, as I said, I think they're a great representation of what I actually use. And yeah, I love sharing that with you. So I always also love to hear what are your monthly favorites, which colors are you loving right now. If you discovered something new that made it into your favorites, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like this video, leave a comment. It really, really helps me. It helps YouTube show my videos to new people. And I really appreciate it, and it's completely free. Also, speaking of free stuff, head on over to my website, sign up for my newsletter if you haven't done that by now, and you will receive a downloadable, comprehensive watercolor shopping guide that will help you save money as you grow your watercolor collection. I will play you a little bit of music, and I will see you soon in another video. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.